What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one and only Ash Said It. AshSaidIt.com, AshSaidIt.com. This is the Ash Said It Daily Podcast Show. I appreciate you guys for all of your love and support. Over 1,200 episodes and 500,000 streams worldwide. None of this stuff would be possible without you guys, so I thank you so very much. Today, I have the esteemed honor to be hanging out with CEO, author, and fellow podcast host, the very talented Beau Henderson. Hey, Beau.
How's it going, Ash?
It's going pretty good here in the A-Town. How are you doing?
You know, I'm excited, and as we kind of were talking a little bit about the show, about what we talk about here and kind of some of the messaging, I'm getting really kind of pumped up about it.
Absolutely, as you should be. Now, Beau, to start things off, tell us all about the RichLife Brand.
Sure. So I've been in the world of financial planning, financial services going on 17 years now. And the first half of that career, I was taught about business in a certain way, and I think the world teaches us about money in a certain way.
Right.
If you pay attention to advertising and other things, that, you know, we have the right things, if we have enough stuff, that's kind of our value, our worth, our power.
Right.
And I got about halfway into my career, and there was a disconnect between what I was buying and what I was maybe even selling to other people, and what the people that I found were truly happy were telling me.
Oh, wow. So how did you get into, really just jumping into this this arena of helping other people create generational wealth?
Yeah, what happened with the Rich Life message, I realized that we all think in a lot of ways that money is the answer. If I had more money, or if I had this or had that, right? And then it came around that I realized, you know what? That's just not doing it for me, and it's not doing it for a lot of my clients. We can have a perfect mathematical plan on a spreadsheet, but that's not necessarily real exciting. And a lot of times we don't stick to it. But what I found something, and I believe it was just a series of events and things that showed this to me with the way life kind of unfolded, was that, you know what? If we get really crystal clear on where we are and really honest about where we are right now.
Right.
And be really honest about where we want to be, and sometimes boldly honest. And why I say that is what kind of made this happen was I was breaking my heart seeing people sleepwalking through life in their roles as an employee, a mom, a dad, a parent, a student, whatever those roles were, and you were missing the fulfillment of living life.
Right.
And that's when I got really clear that, hey, let's all get excited. Let's commit to stop sleepwalking through life. Let's get really clear on what it is that lights you up and makes your life rich. So, Ash, for you, you know, it could be to travel Europe. For me, it could be to have my cabin in the woods to write my book. Whatever it is, it's different for everybody. So we can't tell people what it should be, but we can help you get clear on that. And then when you start living life towards something that excites you and start learning to live well in the journey, money just becomes a tool and much easier to deal with than when we see money as the answer per se.
Gotcha. Now, as you were really building this brand from scratch, no one just handed you this brand and said, hey, do wonderful things with it, create this wonderful, experience for people. As you were building it, what were some of the challenges that you were facing?
You know, one of the challenges was, and it was really funny, is 8 years later, the idea is really catching on. I'm seeing a lot of people trying to coordinate both sides of the equation, so to speak. But one of the biggest challenges, because there was such a solid and long-standing idea of what finances were, what financial planning was balancing both sides, because it was almost a financial planning / coaching model, because we were dealing with the financial aspects plus the life aspects of a life plan, and trying to really language that and create that model that it's a holistic approach to wealth. That was one of the biggest challenges, and it's been. But also, when someone kind of gets their head around it, or hears some of the examples of people that have lived their definition of the rich life or had a breakthrough to move toward it, it makes a lot of sense and resonates.
Gotcha. Now, with that under your belt, and we've already established that, what would you say has been a moment that stuck out to you as confirmation that you are on the right path and you're doing the right things?
I think one of the things, confirmation, it's kind of funny how things come together. It's right now, it's kind of, I see people come into this business in the financial world seeing a success story and say, hey, I want some of that. And then they quit it within a year because they're not at that level.
Right.
And so one of the biggest confirmations to me is after about 16 years of working at it, things have seemed to have reached the tipping point through the podcast, through books, through clients and referrals out there, where I'm actually in a nice position. I'm turning away business now, and I'm spending more time doing like what we're doing, having fun, talking to a lot of people, trying to help as many people as I can with some of these ideas and concepts.
That is awesome. Beau Henderson. All right, so we're going to take a brief break, Beau, and we come back. We're going to talk more about what you've got under your sleeve. And, of course, we're going to pull out into your podcast because you're also a fellow podcaster like yours truly. So we're going to jump into that. So you guys hang tight. We'll be right back. Did you know that some foods can cause weight gain, body aches, and extreme fatigue? These are just some of the symptoms of food intolerance. Well, what is food intolerance? Food intolerance can occur when the body cannot properly digest certain foods. This can result in acid reflux, migraines, and so many other painful issues. How do you find out what foods are causing this irritation? It's easy. Pinner Test. With 500,000 satisfied clients worldwide, Pinner Test is the #1 way of identifying foods that may be causing discomfort. This simple at-home kit is easy to use with results usually within 2 weeks via email. It's that simple, all right? What are you waiting for? Go visit pinnertest.com and use my special promo code AshSaidIt for your discount today. Welcome back to the Ash Said It Daily podcast show. We are chatting with Mr. CEO, Beau Henderson. Yes, you guys know the RichLife Brand, the RichLife lifestyle. So, Beau, how did you start, or I should say, what really pulled you to start a podcast? Because nowadays, podcasts are trendy. Everybody has a podcast. Why a podcast, Beau?
What's funny is I did it backwards for most people. I started with a radio show.
Oh, wow.
And I did the RichLife show, and it was a fun show because we talked about anything that would help people live a life that was fulfilling and meaningful to them. So it was a lot of fun with a lot of leeway. And I did a local station up here in Gainesville, Georgia. But what I realized was most of my traction, and this is funny, you talk about why the podcast is so powerful. My most of the traction and the business benefit was coming from me actually promoting the show, as opposed to the actual 1 hour it was on the air weekly.
Right.
So from that effort, it taught me, okay, let's do a podcast. And people anymore, what I'm finding, and this is all demographics, Ash, they want their content on demand and bite size and available when they need it. And that was my shift to podcasting.
Wow. Awesome. So with all this experience under your belt, Beau, and so many things on the horizon for 2019, because, we're already planning for 2019. That's just a given. We're you gotta have, everything, on the ball of it. But with everything under your belt, all these amazing experiences, all these clients that are coming back, wanting more, appreciating all the time that you've spent with them and helping them build this amazing future. What advice can you offer to anyone out there that questions planning financially for their future?
Yes, that's a great question. So money has this amazing power, or let me correct that. We give money this amazing power. Technically, it's just dead presidents on paper. But we give it this huge power, and sometimes it controls us to an extent. And one of the things I say is if we can just be aware, it's just a tool to live our life. And if we can step back and be brutally honest, I'll have people go well into their 60s and 70s and never want to be, they do this technique when it comes to money. I call it the ostrich with your head in the sand technique. Let's just don't think about it and hope everything turns out okay.
Right.
But one of the biggest things what I can get someone to do is if you'll be brutally honest about where you are right now, even if it's not exactly where you want to be, there's such a relief that comes over people when they'll do that simple exercise about getting really clear. What are my expenses? What is my income? What is my debt? And then the relief comes because you realize when I know where I'm starting, I can create a plan to move towards where I want to go in the future. And that's one of the biggest things I could say is it's a saying we had on the show that was you have to be real to live rich. And one is just let's be honest with ourselves and knowing that the truth is only going to help us with that clarity to give us a starting point to move forward.
This is true. Absolutely true. I love that. Beau, thank you so much for joining us today and dropping those nuggets of knowledge on us. We definitely appreciate you for that. Let everyone know the best way to reach you, to get in contact with you, and, of course, to pick up that book.
Sure, absolutely. You can go to beauhenderson.com. That's BEAU Henderson.com. And we have a copy of the Rich Life 10 Investments for True Wealth book. And that book has sold over 25,000 copies. But I'm on a mission to get it to 100,000 people in the world. So go get a free beauhenderson.com. And check out the Rich Life Show podcast. You'll see it there this night.
Sounds like a plan, Beau. I appreciate you so much. Much more success to you 2019 and beyond. We're claiming that. I see it. We're pulling that out there for you. And I thank each and every one of you guys for all of your love and support. Keep in mind, anyone that tells you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face and tell them, don't believe me, just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. That's what we're doing this for. We're doing this for the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is way better. Until next time, you guys.